dirt in planters is that they get heavy. And then how do you move them? Well, we're going to show you how to move them. Even if they're like 165 pounds, you will be able to move them without help from anyone else. And you're going to get them home for 4 easy payments of $13.75. Okay, I was totally distracted, Susan, by this. This is real. Wow, this is our Cottage Farms hydrangea that's coming up. That's
I'm
wild.
sorry to be blocking it, too.
Oh my gosh,
Isn't
it's
it beautiful?
gorgeous. Okay, by the way, we're going to present this later. It's amazing. But how are you going to move it around your house? Because you can take this indoors, too. A blooming hydrangea indoors. Hi, Susan. How are you? It's so nice to see you.
I'm going to curtsy. Yes.
Look at you zooming around with a heavy planter.
Isn't this amazing?
What is going on?
This is a giant plant that probably, you know, because I don't have a scale here, but I'm going to say it weighs about 120 pounds. I can now move plants inside or even outside. But I like how I can do it inside because it has the no more wheels. But I can move things outside and get them to the spot that I like, without, you know, calling my husband or my boys or hurting the pots or my back.
Susan, I have pots that I want to move around, but I think, oh, I'm just going to leave it there because how am I possibly going to move it?
Exactly.
And so if I can move them around, I can create all kinds of different looks outside.
I know, couldn't you? Exactly. And this is really cool because this is like
this is nice quality.
What you know, almost like what you would carry your golf clubs on, one of those golf carts. But what we did was we gave you this handle that can go as low as 8 inches, and for some reason I'm having a problem with this one, but it can go as low as 8 inches. I'll show you on this one right here. And then it can go as high as 30 inches. So I can have a super tall pot, or I can go all the way low. And look what I did on this. I got a big pot so I could load in mulch or grass seed or, you know, lots of odds and ends and lift it up, and then I can just wheel it to wherever I want to go.
Okay, wait a second.
Wait, do you believe it?
All right, I'm hooked.
Isn't that cool?
I'm with you now.
Yes.
With you. You know, here's the thing. Nobody wants to throw their back out because they wanted to move their purple hydrangea around in a big, you know, with a big thing of dirt.
Exactly.
The fact that you can now move all this stuff, and it's not just about moving your plants around, but you're right, for all those heavy things. This will hold up to 165 pounds, right?
Isn't that amazing? So, you know, now you can do the back-breaking work, and it's no longer back-breaking. You're not gonna hurt your back or your hips or your knees. It's super easy to just lower down. You're just squeezing and lowering and putting the tongs inside, and then it hooks onto your planter. You tilt it back like you just did, and then you wheel it and put it where you want it.
What I like is, look at this, like I'm putting this down. Oh, and by the way, that's the first time I ever put it down, so I gave that one a kind of a rocky landing. Well, but guess what it didn't do? Fall.
Exactly, it didn't fall. And you know what? It has, and I'll show you on this one. It's got a foot pedal right here. So when you want to lift, you put your foot here and you lift it. When you want to put it down, you put your foot on it again too.
Okay, so I didn't know that.
No, you didn't know that.
And I just like kind of slammed it down. I can't say I recommend that, but guess what didn't happen? This plant did not come tumbling towards you all.
Exactly.
Like, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Now, Sandra, when you have pots that are up high, yeah, you can generally like, you know, I'll try to lift it. But when something's way down on the ground, that's intense for your back, your knees, your hips. And that's why this just comes in so handy, because you just tilt it back and you move it to where you want it, and then you just put it down. And I'll do that thing where I was just telling you, where you put your foot, and then you can use your foot to gently lower it if it's 165 pounds.
So when I get it home, how hard is it to assemble?
It is not hard at all, and it's going to take about 5 minutes.
Okay.
And here's how you assemble it. Those are all the different pieces. They all fit together really well. And then you just, with that included tool, you are just going to tighten everything. It's almost like when you go to that Swedish store and they give you that little tool. Same tool here, where you're going to put it all together. There are your cotter pins to make sure your wheels are all handy. And then you go ahead and you move things. You know
what's great about this? I can actually move this.
Isn't that amazing?
8 pounds, 4 ounces.
Yes.
So I didn't expect it to be so light, because when you just grab it, it feels very sturdy, which in our mind, you know, usually equates to sturdy, heavy.
Right.
But really, like, it's sturdy, But it's not heavy.
It's not as, and it has this little hook right here, up here, so you can hang it up and put it away in your, you know,
Oh, well, look.
garage or your shed.
I've lifted it up with one finger.
Yes, exactly.
And I haven't been working out my finger. It really is just that way.
Oh, yes, you
I don't have like a freakishly strong index finger.
Yeah, so I'm going to show you, this is how it works. It can go up to 30 inches high, but then these are the little buffer pads that are going to come down and hit right in there. So then when I lift it up with my foot down here, look how it just grabs on, and then I can take it where I want to take it to.
This makes so much sense for anyone who does any gardening, or
Yes.
maybe for you, your gardening is just like, you know, you have a couple of planters, maybe you need to move things around the yard. This is genius. Because for me, I usually have to end up waiting for my husband so I can get some help. Or in some cases, I've had some big planters like this one that you see right there that I wanted to move, but I'm like, it's too much trouble. They get so heavy once you put the dirt in them.
And you know what? You almost feel like, oh boy, I think if I move it, I'm going to crack the cement pot.
Do you know what this would be good for?
Yes, what?
If you're someone who loves like going to the flea markets, or when your town has that like big sale every year and everyone brings their stuff out, you should get this. Take it with you, because you never know what you're going to find.
Oh, you never know.
So for everyone who likes like tag sales and stuff,
oh,
you kind of need to keep
them.
this in your car.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what also? Look at the wheels. They're a little dirty because our floor's a little dirty, but these are called no-mar wheels. So if you want to move something inside, maybe you've got a beautiful garden room, or you've got big plants, but you want to, you know, you're refinishing the floors, you're going to change the rug out or something. You can use it inside and you will not hurt your wooden floors or your rugs.
That's great.
But it works fantastically outside as well. And you're going to move up to 165 pounds worth of pots, because, you know, I have big, solid, you know, glazed pottery pots that are really big.
Well, and you want to move them in a way that doesn't hurt your back, but
yes,
also
that's it.
you don't end up breaking them, right?
Right, that's it. Because you can really, when you're, and I'll show you here, you can really, you know, if you're trying to move it and you just lift it up and then, oh gosh, what if you smash it down on the ground?
Right.
You're really going to hurt it. But it's super easy, because all you're doing is lifting and lowering that handle, 8-inch pot up to a 30-inch pot, and you've got a little freedom.
So it's awesome. But guess Susan's back with something so cool. You ready for this? It is the sprinkler that looks like sculpture, or the piece of yard sculpture that turns